What's up, everybody? How are you? I have great news. It is now going to be a bird-free show. I've heard the comments, I've listened, and the birds are no longer going to be part of the... Oh. I guess they changed their mind. I guess the birds are back. Skip it up and that up. There was a time in my life that I remember that going to arcades felt like the lottery. I'm an 80s baby. Like, literally, I was born in 81. And that was when arcades just offered an experience with gaming that you could not get at home. Like you would play, granted it ended up being a better version of the game now looking back as an adult, but you know, the eye candy caught you. So you go to the arcade, and this is how old I am, there was a Double Dragon cabinet there, and then you would go home and play Double Dragon on the NES and be disappointed because again it was like, wow, it looks so much cooler, you could see their muffles, and you know, and God, I remember playing Paperboy with my aunt. There was a Magic 2 arcades that it's been gone. It's been gone since the late 80s, early 90s, to be. I mean, they were around still, but it just was a different time. Well, arcades in a weird way have a niche now. It's a fun way to like go out and experience it. There's actually an arcade at my mall. How long it will last, I don't know, but it's there. And you could go in there and play a first-person version of Space Invaders with a giant screen. It's quite strange. Nonetheless, imagine going into an arcade and an axe-wielding maniac comes in there, holds you in there, and then starts breaking all of the machines. This is something that literally happened in New Orleans. I'm not kidding. This comes from Kotaku.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. So December 14th, a patron of the Sea Cave Arcade and Bar in the Bywater neighborhood of New Orleans went over to an arcade cabinet and started putting stickers all over it from a supermarket price gun. Like, you know, the guns where you go and you see, I've actually used those guns when I worked in retail a while back, where you go and you'd put the prices on them. So why he was doing that is beyond me. When arcade owner Judah Leah asked him to leave, the customer responded to the guy by asking if he was interested in dying. That was the beginning of a really interesting evening at night at the Sea Cave. Now, this customer, who went by the name of Wolf, was a new member of the Sea Cave who have already developed a reputation for being a moron and making other people there feel uncomfortable. After the initial confrontation, Lee refunded the Wolves. I love how he has like a nickname, like he's like an action star from the 80s, membership fee, and kicked him out. Out in the parking lot, Wolf brandished a butterfly knife, the official knife of someone trying to look cool. Oh yeah, that is so true. I'll give Kotaku that. I've known somebody, bro, check out what I can do with these knives, bro. Sick. And he also mentioned owning an assault rifle before leaving around 7:30 p.m. This is because he got his membership revoked from a barcade. I think it's safe to say this guy has mental issues. And about a half an hour later, he returned to the arcade and locked the front doors with a bicycle lock, trapping the customers and employees in the building. Then he started smashing windows and sending glass flying everywhere. Now, the employees and the customers, they escaped through the back door and they called the cops. But by the time they called the cops, the Wolf already left. Only in real life could someone be named the Wolf, and it's actually sounds more corny than if you actually wrote a really cheesy novel. And like, if you wrote down what I'm saying right now and tried to make a book out of it, I'd be like, this is unrealistic, man. What are you doing? But no, this really happened. This is a thing. Let's continue. Anyway, later that night, according to the owner, Lee, the guy came back. Lee says he watched on security cameras from his home as this guy vandalized the arcade with an axe. He smashed machines. He smashed everything around him. Again, they called the cops. Again, they arrived too late. Between 1 a.m. and 2:30 a.m., the Wolf smashed every monitor, arcade machine, television, and window in the place. Now, Lee estimates that the damage could be between $30,000 and $50,000. And here's some images of what happened. It's surreal. It's not even unreal. It's surreal. And there's older TVs. I actually had one of those TVs with, well, that's a DVD player in there, but I had a VCR in a similar TV setup like that. That's a very mid-90s thing where the VCR was built into the small TV, destroyed. Those aren't easy to get back either. That's the thing. It's not even about money. That's like, to find CRTs that are in good working order is a tall order. But let's continue. There's what seems like the bathroom being destroyed. Look at the arcade cabinets. This is great stuff too. It absolutely ruined. A Simpsons arcade machine destroyed. And these are like, this is vintage stuff, man. It's not even about the money. How are you going to get this back? This is so sad. This is why I wanted to cover this too. Area 51 destroyed, all because of our dear friend the Wolf. Look at that. Look at that. Another Capcom machine. I can't really tell what it is there. We have more CRTs, and again, because of the age, they ain't making CRTs anymore, man. They're not making them. Like, these are all going to be tough to with a Dreamcast controller, so they had some retro games there. What a shame. More broken CRTs. He really, really smashed these things too. Holy crap. And it continues, and it continues. He destroyed Outrun. Great game. Look at all the glass broken on the bottom. What an awful human being. Look at all this. Did he not destroy the TV above the... They're showing that it's or maybe it is damaged. I can't see it, but... Yeah, no, he did. He damaged it. There you go. Oh, good for it. Wow. And it goes on and on and on. Look at them. All of them smashed. Unbelievable. I think you get the point by now, though. Now, they have a GoFundMe campaign that has raised $23,445. They have a $30,000 goal. But I think the thing... that's even more sad about this is some of that stuff is going to be really tough to replace. It's vintage, I'm sure if you look hard enough, but it's like I said, it's not even going to be the funds. It's going to be finding things to replace. And what goes through people's heads? I know it's mental illness, and I'm sure this guy is going to, he's going to face some jail time, hopefully. A decent amount of jail time. But what causes people to snap like this over something so frivolous? He went into an arcade. Like, what did you expect? I'm going to deface someone's property. No consequences, though. Yeah, you've been known. And they've tolerated him, it seems like, for a while. They're better than me. If I owned that place, I would have kicked his ass out a long time ago. They said he was rude to customers for a while. This wasn't like, this was the extreme, but this wasn't a new thing. But there's monsters among us, man, and you never know what people are capable of. And yeah, obviously it's mental illness, but this guy doesn't get a pass. He's just a whiny, entitled bastard that was mad that he didn't get his way, so he took down literally the whole building with him. And scared the hell out of people in the process. He also threatened them with a weapon, too. So I'm hoping he's facing a nice long jail sentence. And I hope the Sea Cave can get their arcade back off the ground. Because like I said, it's more than money. It's finding these very old, rare items out there to rebuild your business with. And I hope they can. This is Rich at Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Baka. 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 Baka.